We have a very special guest we have to invite on stage.
Yes, Sahil Talwar is working actively with Reckitt on Diarrhea Net Zero campaign. And let's get him straight on the stage. Thank you so much, Sahil.
Welcome on stage, Sahil.
Thanks.
Can we have a round of applause for Sahil Talwar, please?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sahil, how does the WHO 7-point plan help, and why is what really is the foundation of this diarrhea, net zero, and safe toilets for all? It's a campaign. When did it start? Give us the background.
So, Mr. Brijesh Pathak ji and the Honorable Governor herself launched the program on the 27th of June. So, talking about the WHO 7-point plan, it is the only strategy that we have where we talk about the prevention, promotion, and treatment of diarrhea. So all the core aspects of the diarrhea management are covered here. And within this program, we have aimed to create a cadre of 10,000 Swacchta prairies who are going to be further reaching out to 17.5 million women. So, over the past few conversations, we have been talking a lot about, this being a people-led movement, using the citizen force. So what better example of, the citizen force than these 10,000 champions who are going to be reaching out to the communities, focusing on the prevention part, focusing on the promotion part. And we'd be surprised to know that 95% of the cases of diarrhea can be averted just by ensuring that we are using clean drinking water, we have safe sanitation facilities, and we are washing our hands at the critical moments with soap.
So Sahil, you've been working with Reckitt, of course. So let me ask Ravi, what has your experience been in this Diarrhea Net Zero initiative from ground up? We heard from the earlier segment as well. This can't be a top-down approach. It has to be bottom-up. So what has your experience been at Reckitt with the Diarrhea Net Zero initiative?
It's one of the very, very promising initiatives. Reason being, like, the two initiatives actually, one has given us already results, which is on the malnutrition stunting, as Amitabh Kantji was actually speaking.
Yeah.
Where among, there's a Niti Aayog publication on the aspirational districts.
Correct.
Right.
There are 10 best practices from the aspirational districts. From among those 10, there are top two, which comes from our office, through our partners. So a lot of actually, strength we get from our partners, the work they have done. We have a lot of learnings from there by doing work in the aspirational districts, and we thought, like, when Uttar Pradesh is a state which has the highest number of under 5 deaths because of diarrhea. So why should not be doing something there? Correct. And there's an equal role of Dettol as well as Harpic there. And then, we acquired a brand called Mead Johnson. So where, we started talking about, infant milk also and, breastfeeding and all that. When you see overall this WHO 7-point plan, we are the only program in India, I can proudly say, which talks about prevention, promotion, and treatment, all the three aspects together. And we have the highest level of support from the government. And we saw there's a big gap in the cadre of frontline health workers in terms of the sanitation champions. So when we started working with Sahil and team, and they said, like, that cadre is missing. So we said, okay, let's prove, there should be a proof of concept. We said, like, 1 district, 2 districts. He said, no, we should do at least half of Uttar Pradesh.
Wow.
I said, half of Uttar Pradesh means, like half of the population of the UK.
Yeah, it's like...
we agreed to that, and there's a huge support from our leadership, Gaurav, who said we must do this, need gap assessment, and we create this cadre of 10,000 women.
Wow.
And there is a good probability, like, we will be seeing, like, reduction in the diarrhea cases and other things, which will be backed up by the data from the WHO and the NSO and other surveys. Net, like, there's a lot of innovation which is done by the colleagues in Reckitt internally. To put on record, Dr. Jyotsna, she was the one actually who worked on the first bundling kit. There's one innovation which is a bundling kit where you have bundled ORS, zinc, messages on sanitation, messages on breastfeeding, messages on regular checkups, follow-ups, introduction of vouchers to those who actually can't afford. Because we work with an aim of leaving no one behind. So to live that on reality, on the ground, it's important, like all the important,
and that's
people
why
work together.
Rules role of Natasha becomes important, leaving no
Absolutely.
one behind.
Yeah.
Natasha, this Lighthouse initiative.
Tell us a little bit. I mean, we heard about this in the previous segment as well, but I want to focus on the ODF Plus initiative which you've launched, coverage of 700 districts across the country. What has your experience been in this, and how far more do we have to go to get there in terms of ODF Plus?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for inviting us. Nena did give you a sense of what
correct.
Lighthouse was. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background to, to make people understand what it really means. So the word lighthouse is used by pretty much every ministry today. Everyone wants to create lighthouses, right? But a real lighthouse is one that is going to show the way to others in the area in which they're working. So that was really the, I guess, the cornerstone with which we were working. This journey that we've started on with DDWS was about a year old, and it just came out of a dialogue that I was having with the secretary at that point of time, where, we were working with Mahua, which is the urban ministry, and they said, why don't you do something for us? And I said, sure, what do you want? And they said, look, we've got 733 districts across India, and we want to, and about 6.6 lakh villages in India. We want to put solid and liquid waste management facilities across all of them. And I was just staring at him, and I said, he has to, this isn't happening. He isn't asking me to do this. But he was. That's exactly what he was doing. He said, how can we do this? So that's where the Lighthouse was born. How do we create examples or models in each district of all our states and use that to then, replicate across the other blocks of that particular
Uttar Pradesh,
district?
Zaka, has been leading by example.
Absolutely. We heard from both the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister.